Boom. Okay. Thank you very much for coming back and actually looking at the answers. You could have just Googled them all. This is going to be a bit looser in terms of structure. We're going to try and do it all in one take, so bear in mind if I get anything a little bit wrong. So, question 1 was a poem. Question 1 was a John Clare poem, which doesn't actually have a title. So I've named it up. There's somebody walking around upstairs, isn't there? Yeah. A John Clare poem which doesn't actually have a title. So I've just called it I Hid My Love, which is the first line. Question 2 was one that I was hoping to catch you out on. It was also a poem by Maya Angelou called Come and Be My Baby. And when I did it with my family earlier this week, they all thought that it was a Bruce Springsteen song. So I'm quite pleased with that. Question 3 was the first song. That was Jackson Browne, Before the Deluge. Great song. Jackson Browne is very underrated. Question 4 was a song. That was the Tom Robinson Band with Too Good to Be True. Question 5 was also a song. This was Shipbuilding, written by Elvis Costello and originally recorded by Robert Wyatt. Spoilers, this isn't the first time that Elvis Costello will be on this list, so have fun with that. Question 6 was a poem. That was A Thunderstorm in Town by Thomas Hardy, of all people. Who, I picked this because this was probably the least representative of what people think of his work. As promised, more Elvis Costello. Question 7 was a song, Tramp the Dirt Down. Question 8 is, again, a song. I can't remember what the critic was, but this was the lyric that somebody said finally put Van Morrison, who wrote it, ahead of his main competitor, Bob Dylan, as the greatest songwriter of the 60s. The song, if you want to know, was Astral Weeks from the album Astral Weeks, which is one of the greatest albums of all time. So go and listen to that. Question 9 was a poem. It was Street Scenes by David Harsent, which is not a poet that I know at all outside of this one. What was that click? Boom. Okay. Question 10 was a song. It was by Christina Rossetti. The poem was called Song, and it's a poem. So, yeah, a little bit confusing, I suppose, but who cares? Question 11 was also a song, or in this case, it was actually a song rather than being a poem. This was recorded and set to music. This was Paul Simon, Crazy Love Volume 2, off the Graceland album. Question 12 was a song. This was a Phil Lynott lyric from the band Thin Lizzy. It was Angel from the Coast. It ultimately ends up being all about gambling and drinking and stuff like that. So it's quite fun. I'd look out for it. Question 13 was a song. This was the obligatory Lou Reed lyric from Street Hassle. And at least, can you bleep some stuff out? That'd be quite funny. And maybe take this out. Of course, with Lou Reed, I was going to include the line, "Hey, that cunt's not breathing," but I thought that might be a little bit too much. Question 14 is another song. We're 4 in a row. This one I would hope would be a little unexpected, because she's, for some reason, not particularly well noted for her songwriting ability, despite the fact that she was brilliant. It was Amy Winehouse with the song "He Can Only Hold Her." It's one of my favourites. I like the fact that with this one, it works in a kind of, even if she's content in his warmth. It's not quite iambic pentameter, but it feels like it. It feels like it could be if you read it out correctly. Question 15 was a poem, the first one that we've had for a while. This was Edward Thomas with "Go Now," who, Edward Thomas, again, I don't know very well, but I would like to check him out based on the strength of this one. Question 16 was another poem. This was "Life is But a Dream" by Lewis Carroll. This was on one of those... I found this in the book Poems That Make Grown Women Cry. This was Victoria Coren Mitchell's selection. Question 17 is a song. Well, it's Leonard Cohen, so you can never be quite sure whether he wrote it originally as a song or a poem, but I'm calling this a song because he wrote it, because he recorded it as a song. So that was "Love Itself." These are upside down. That's useful. Question 18 was Wendy Cope, "Being Boring." I like Wendy Cope a lot. It was a poem, in case you don't know. Cat's just fallen over. Question 19 was "Burning Sky" by The Jam, written by Paul Weller, who is fantastic. I picked this one because I don't think it was released as a single. It's definitely not one of their better known tracks, and it's written in the form of a rhyming letter, which I thought was interestingly literary and might put a few people off. I might piss a few people off with this one, because question 20 was another Leonard Cohen, but this one I don't think was ever set as a song, so this one I'm counting as a poem. It's called "Not Going Back." Question 21 is the obligatory Yeats, WB. It's a poem called "The Heart of the Woman," and it's actually very beautiful if you read it properly. Right, as you can guess from the extract that I gave. Question 22 was a late edition. This is a song by Tom Waits called "The Ghosts of Saturday Night," off the album "Looking for the Heart of Saturday." No, I think it's just called "The Heart of Saturday Night," thinking about it. Great album, though. Go and check it out. Question 23 was, again, a song, "On" by Block Party, which is a fantastic song. One of my favourites from "A Weekend in the City," which is their second album. Question 24 was another Wendy Cope. This was one called "Loss." And this one is the poem is "What I Sent You." It's that full 4 lines. So, which I thought was quite fun. Question 25 is another poem. Again, somebody who I don't know very much about. A poet called Derek Mahon or Mahone. It's called Romance after Rimbaud, the French poet. And finally, again, hoping to put people off a little bit with this one, question 26 was a song, Straight to Hell by The Clash, which I'm sure more people will know because it was sampled by Mia for Paper Planes. But the song itself is a great example of how Joe Strummer, as well as being just the frontman of the best punk band ever, could write a song. So, yeah, I hope you all had fun with doing this little quiz. And I hope it encourages you either to check out some more poets or to listen more carefully to the lyrics and the songs, especially to some of these artists. So have fun with the rest of the day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you for the proper literary quiz, which I will be hosting in a couple of days. So bye.